You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Here we go. Another night at Danville. And the winners coming in.
Evening, I'm Amanda Brennan. Marley is off tonight. The long-awaited Golden Nugget Casino opened its doors today. Loads of people lined up in Danville, eager to get inside. WCIA 3's Jamal Williams is with us. Jamal, you were there today. Tell us about it.
That's right, Amanda. Check this out. This is what it looked like while people waited for the doors to open just 2 hours ago. It's an experience they've been waiting for months, and it's finally here. People traveled near and far for a chance to play their favorite betting games. Some people I talked to came from Rantoul, Decatur, even out of state. One man came from Indiana, about 40 miles away. He says he couldn't pass up the opportunity to witness Danville's first ever gambling house.
It's going to be a draw for Danville, period. It provides jobs for local people. It provides a great restaurant that people eat at, and hopefully some people have a little winnings.
He's most excited to play games like poker inside the casino. And he's not the only one ready to see the impacts the Golden Nugget can have on Danville. Tonight at 10, we'll have more on that. Plus, you'll also hear from the casino's president about his feelings on opening day. Amanda, back to you.
Jamal, thank you. Now we have an update for you tonight on a Champaign County crash we first told you about yesterday. It happened on Route 45 near Thomasboro around 5:30 p.m. State police say a black Ford Escape hit the back of another car and then left the scene. That car went into a ditch and rolled into southbound lanes. Police say the driver, a 38-year-old from Rantoul, and her 2 teenage passengers were hurt and taken to the hospital. The Decatur Fire Department is investigating a fire that they consider suspicious after it broke out just before 2 this morning. It happened at a vacant home on West Cerro Gordo and North Dunham Street. Fire officials say they were returning a call from a different call when they saw heavy smoke. They found that smoke coming from the back of the home, and other crews came to help put it out. Decatur police and the fire marshal were called in as well. They're still investigating details. Turning now to our eye on politics. Lawmakers passed the budget to the governor's desk last night. Now they're heading back to their districts for the summer. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Hankey was there last night for the debate that went into early the morning.
I'm standing alongside Senate President Don Harmon and House Speaker Chris Welch to announce that we have an agreement on a balanced budget for the coming year.
That was Wednesday, and it turns out they spoke a bit too soon. After flying past their self-imposed deadline last week, there was still plenty of work to be done before lawmakers could get a budget in the books.
Senate Bill 250 includes the fiscal year 2024 budget.
After several amendments and another day, the Senate finally took up the budget. Senate Republicans gave praise to Democrats for giving them a seat at the table, but did not give them any votes.
It ignores the overwhelming call for relief from the tax and utility costs that are crushing families and small and medium-sized businesses still struggling to overcome their COVID-19 setbacks.
But I'm also disappointed that a failure to resolve non-budget issues prevents a unanimous vote on a responsible, balanced budget. This is a budget that invests in our shared priorities.
House Republicans voted unanimously against the budget as well.
You have created a constitutional problem with this budget. Vote no.
The $50 billion spending plan is full of big investments for education, additional support for hospitals, and money for local governments. The legislature gave the governor his wish and funded the early stages of his Smart Start universal preschool program and increased the amount of money going towards MAP grant scholarships. But Republicans took issue with some missing line items, including the exclusion of the Invest in Kids program, a taxpayer-funded scholarship that sends low-income students to private schools.
Parents this summer are going to have to decide, are they going to send their kids to a school that maybe they can afford for half a year and then get thrown out on their ear? Are they going to put their faith in the Illinois General Assembly to finally figure it out?
But Democrats remained confident that this budget is a continuation of the relative fiscal success the state has seen over the past few years.
If you want to vote for fiscal responsibility that will lead to the 9th straight credit upgrading in the state of Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, please vote aye.
We will have much more about the budget and the final days of the session on this week's episode of Capital Connection. You can watch Capital Connection Sunday mornings at 10:30 right here on WCIA 3 or on our sister station, WCIX 49, Sunday nights at 9:30. Today, healthcare workers are wrapping up a week of recognizing the people who come to you first when there's an emergency, paramedics. This week, I spent a day with 2 first responders who are dedicating their lives to helping you. Here's the story. Every day is different for Jeremy Hirschberger and Kyle Clapper with Carl's Arrow Ambulance Service.
Just making sure that we have all of our different things that are attached.
Without, the equipment and the medicines we have on the ambulance, providing that initial care out in the field can make the difference in somebody's life. We have all of our cardiac drugs.
They're always on their toes and expecting the unexpected.
Medical 503 West Linden.
Sometimes you'll be administering life-saving medications or possibly just being there for somebody and listening to them.
They knew what they were getting into when they devoted their lives to the community as first responders.
We see people at their worst. It's their worst day of their life most times.
But that only motivates Hirschberger to keep pushing forward.
Just trying to give them a little bit of comfort, peace of mind. It just makes me feel really good to know that we've helped them in some sort of small way.
Saving lives right here in the back of this ambulance has an extra hometown meeting for both of these first responders.
I started out volunteering for the local fire department. It was actually Corn Belt Fire here in Mahomet.
Similar story for Clapper. He's caring for the community he grew up in.
It wasn't the typical Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You had no idea where you were going to go, when you were going to go, or what you were going to be doing when you got there.
There's no timeline to traumatic situations.
We got all of our IV supplies.
They say that's okay as long as they're doing the job that they love and working with the people they support the most.
They call you to help and show up there and you're able to kind of put them at ease and make them feel better is always the part that's the best for me.
They both say they appreciate the recognition during National EMS Week, but at the end of the day, they're just doing their jobs to help people like you and me. And the Champaign Fire Department is also doing what they can to keep the community safe. We've told you before that they're adding 2 new trucks to their fleet, and today they hosted a push-in ceremony for one of them. It's an old tradition that the chief says dates back hundreds of years, where horses would pull a steamer into the firehouse. It was a similar thing today and aimed to get the entire community involved. Kids pushed the engine into Station 4 and then wiped it down, making for a day they'll always remember. All right, Jacob, nice weather today.
Oh, beautiful. Can't ask for a better Saturday, right? Temperatures tonight will be dropping down pretty quickly into the 60s after the sun sets. We're back to the 50s tonight. Warmer weather is around the corner, though. Wait until we get to the 90s. I'll tell you when that happens coming up after this.
WCIA3. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
What a beautiful day we are enjoying in Central Illinois. You know, this is back-to-back weekends here of nice weather. You know, when Seth's working, normally it seems like we've had storms, so maybe he's the antidote here. And you send me instead, we get nice weather. He'll be back next weekend. I'm sure maybe we'll get some storms finally then. We'll see, right? Temperatures out there here this evening in the upper 70s and low 80s. We're checking in at 80 at last check here in Champaign at the airport. Wind is out of the east there, 8 miles an hour. Dew point value is still really low. When we have dry air, the dew point value is low. What happens is we get warm quickly, and we also cool off at night quickly here. We'll be down in those mid-50s overnight. 56 in Champaign, 55 in Mattoon, Decatur at 53. For tomorrow, then, I do think we'll have some cloud cover that builds on in, just like today. Higher clouds, maybe some mid-level clouds, but no low clouds with rain, unfortunately. Temperature is going to climb those low 80s across the region. 83 in Champaign, Danville at 81. We'll be at a high for our Sunday at 82 in Springfield, Lincoln up to 83. A little cooler to the south, Shelbyville only at 78. We're seeing those upper 70s towards the I-70 corridor where I think the cloud cover may be thicker. 79 for Charleston, Newton, and Effingham. Only 77 for our Sunday. First off, the one thing about this weekend here is the allergies. Whew, you've been sniffling and sneezing. Lots of messages about, hey, what's going on with that? The oak, the tree pollen, and also the grass pollen really high here for the next several days and will stay that way. It'd be great to get some rain to wash the air here to knock down some of that pollen. We don't have any coming, though. Do get some sunshine here by the time we get to Monday. Hit the low 80s today, similar tomorrow, and then Monday back to the mid to upper 80s across the region with some more sunshine. We'll keep that east wind in place. That'll stay with us through Sunday, even into Monday here. By the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, the wind will finally turn more southerly, and that's going to allow our dew points to start to climb upwards a little bit. Thankfully, with this heat coming, the humidity is not unbearable, but you see that slow rise here through Tuesday and then eventually Wednesday, Thursday, low to middle 60s for dew point values. You'll notice the air a little bit more here, especially when temperatures go up. 91 for Tuesday, 92 on Wednesday, 93 for Thursday and Friday. A bit of a early June heat wave, it seems like, is on track for us here. Those heat index values might be in those mid to upper 90s for a couple of days here. One thing to mention, rain chances unfortunately really slim here. We don't get any from this little low here, but you can see it pushes some cloud cover our way for the next day or so. Let me dry out with high pressure. It's in control. If we do get some showers, they'll be very isolated. They'll be diurnally driven. The heating of the day will help maybe a couple of spots pop up, but no organized rain chances expected. Still on the next 7-day forecast here, an isolated chance here starting Tuesday and Wednesday. Very slim. I'd be willing to bet against the odds for you to get some showers, but if you do, it'll be bonus rain here. Future track still. Most all places getting goose eggs for the forecast. Here's what we expect for tonight. Temperatures down into those mid-50s out there, 56, mostly cloudy. 7-day forecast does have that heat on the way here, warming up each day from here on out, continuing that trend to the 90s by Tuesday. We'll call it a stray thunder shower for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here. Thursday, Friday, isolated thunder showers. It's not much to look at. You can get one of those here. You'd be lucky. You know, these are the type of spot showers that they just kind of pop up and, you know, maybe a couple square miles, get a little drink of water, and then just down the road misses out entirely. We need some rain badly, and we still can't figure out where it's at.
Thank you, Jacob. Now, when you hear breweries, I'm sure your brain goes straight to having a beer with friends and family, but probably not this, where people enjoyed a unique race earlier today. That's next.
built-in clear.
You've heard of obstacle courses for kids, maybe even dogs, but what about for drones? This was the scene at Riggs Brewery today in Urbana. One chapter of the Central Illinois drone racers were there, driving their devices through twists and turns. One of the group's leaders says she loves seeing the community put on goggles and watch from the perspective of a drone.
It's a unique thing to actually be flying like you're in the drone. So when you put those goggles on and you take off, you're going so fast. So it doesn't look fast when you just watch them moving around the field, but when you're actually watching it in the view, it's just so fast.
They'll be at Riggs about once a month for anyone to check out. Pretty cool thing there.
Yeah, tons of fun. I think there's drone racing leagues, so that's kind of a transition to sports as well. We were all over the place, no drones, but softball, baseball, even track and field. We have highlights from all over the place on Saturday coming up next.
And now, WCIA3 Sports with Andy Olson.
Regional, sectional, and state trophies were all on the line today for athletes and teams all around Central Illinois. Let's not waste any time. Right to the highlights and the best game of the day. Unity hosting St. Anthony for the 2A sectional title. Jenna Atkins able to get the RBI there to extend the Rockets lead, but the Bulldog bats wake up after that. Addie Warren Singh blasts one to deep left center. Two-run shot makes it a one-run game, but it did not take long for a response. Lindy Bates helps her own cause in the circle. Tees off to left. That extends the Rockets lead to 6-2. Now things turning into a home run derby. Anna Faber clobbers this. The game now knotted at 6. 4 runs score for the Bulldogs in the 6th. To the 7th, still tied. Runner on first. Sydney Kibler shoots one to right center. They send Nora Ganaway around third. She scores. St. A takes the lead, and they are moving on with an 8-6 win.
Unity
Kennedy brought the energy today too, but I just think we were, every single inning, every single pitch, we were there for it. But we just stayed cool, calm, and collected.
I didn't stop believing in all these girls because I know they're capable of great things, and I knew we could just tee off.
They'll play Quincy Notre Dame in the Super Sectional on Monday. Now down to 1A, Leroy taking on Hayworth for the Tuscola sectional title. Offense at a premium in this one. Lily Long doing her best to keep the Hornets off the base pads, energized after the strikeout. And then after a base hit, Emma Slayback gets the Panthers back. As you see the base hit there for Leroy. It's a strikeout to end the inning. They do, however, the Panthers squeak out a 2-1 win, their first sectional title in program history. Up to 3A, this is a regional final game between Muhammad Seymour and Rantoul. Bulldogs already up 3 and adding on. Kennedy Granadino shoots a ball down the third base line, keeps it fair as she trades places with Kayla McKinney to make it 4-0. Then it's Maddie White slapping this one past shortstop. Another run comes across the plate to score as they round third. Bulldogs in control, looking for their second straight regional title. The Eagles stop the bleeding temporarily with a play at the plate. She's out, but it's not nearly enough. Muhammad Seymour moving on with a 10-0 win and a regional title. To baseball and an all-Apollo matchup for the regional at Muhammad Seymour once again between the Bulldogs, this time the Lincoln Railers. Plenty of scouts on hand to see Blake Walters, who allows a base runner in the first before getting the strikeout to get out of the inning. Scoreless into the bottom of the third in this one when Alex McHale keeps the grounder down the third base line just fair. That brings home Finn Randolph to get MS on the board. And the big hit, it'll come later in this frame. Carter Johnson, the catcher, 3-run homer to left center as that clears the fence. He's pumped up, and the Bulldogs are pumped up. They're regional champs 4-1, the final there. Staying in 3A, Central taking on U-High for the Bloomington regional title. Luke McClure hits one to deep left center. Center fielder coming over. He dives, but can't make the grab. 2 runs come around to score for the Maroons, and they take the lead. Defense was pretty good in this one, too. Grounder is on the ground to TJ Pipkins at first. The flip to the pitcher in time. That's why you practice PFPs, kids. Maroons win the regional final 5-1 there. Finally, our last stop on the Diamonds. 1A matchup with St. Thomas More hosting Milford for the sectional title. Sabres jump out to the early lead off the bat of Cole Kemper. Drives in the first run as Andrew Tate tumbles towards home. 1-0 top 4. The Bearcats bark back. Bottom half, Carson Shields with the RBI single, bringing home Bo Wright to even things up. Milford played really well in this one on the road. They get the 8-1 win. It's the first sectional title in school history. Well, after all that excitement, there were still gold medals to give out today in Charleston at the boys track and field season wrapping up at EIU. WCIA3's Bryce Beeman has more from Charleston.
After only placing 5th in the 400 last year, Centennial's Daniel Lacey came back from injury and is now a 3-time state champion.
I did what I could. Even if I didn't win, I still would have been grateful that I'm even here. I haven't been so successful in the past, but now a whole year of tracking, this is what happened, so I'm grateful.
Lacey also won the 100 and 200-meter dash, which helped the Chargers to 3rd place as a team in 3A. Also placing as a team, Salt Fork, who took the top spot in 1A, led by Salt Fork senior Nathan Kirby, who came in 1st place in the 110-meter hurdles, a race he's only run 3 times this year. Also helping lead his team to a 1st place finish as the anchor in the 4x200 relay.
Amazing. I've never done it before. I hit the first 3 hurdles. I thought I was screwed and I was going to fall. I was able to keep my balance and win it, and it's only my 3rd race the whole year, and I was able to PR and win, so it feels amazing.
The Storm also take home the gold in the field event. Senior Garrett Taylor finishes his high school career a state champion in both shot put and discus.
It definitely feels good. I was in a really good spot coming in. I knew that, I had the top throw, and my goal was to try to better it. I didn't end up doing that, but I was just really happy to have it all happen.
After getting disqualified in the 400 during prelims and a false start in the 4x100 that ended in a DQ, Urbana's Jackson Gilbert finally got a gold medal, coming in 1st in the 200-meter dash and 2nd in the 4x400.
We come here and we did what we needed to do. Sure, some things don't go your way, but that's just sport. That's not even sport, that's life. Some things don't always go your way. You just pick the best moments of it. I picked the best moment, won the 200, and tried my hardest in the 4x4.
With several other Central Illinois athletes placing to bring home some hardware, that wraps up state finals here on the blue track. Reporting in Charleston, I'm Bryce Beeman, WCIA3 Sports.
Thanks, Bryce. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.